Hello, this is Good Digestion with another game of Galaxy, and again we are welcoming back Fireoak. Hello.
Hello again.
All right, let's go. All right, Thanatos again. Ooh. So Yakety Yak is strong, but I find it like uninspired. I mean, not as uninspired as Sapphire, but just like, yeah, it does a thing, but it's not really a build around. Or I don't know. Do you have a way to build around this?
I haven't unlocked enough cards to bother.
Right.
I've played it. It's good, but it doesn't ask much of you, right? It's just it
Yeah.
does the thing it does.
It's like find a
I
silver and
think
then
it.
you get a
I think
bonus.
it. I think it will be good. I think it'll be consistent, but um, I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Dinonysus lately, just because it's fun to see all the captains. There are several ways to get captains just flowing. Between this and like Boon of Sticks, which I think is kind of a interesting thing and set up this patch or this release. Just there are a lot of ways to get more captains.
Yeah, I do like this captain. I kind of wish I had like something to replace these three questers.
Fair.
But yeah, I don't know. I
So
mean,
let's see. Yeah, it's like Mirror Mage, I guess, could come out for a Toto or something, but that's probably not needed
yeah, I don't think we
with
need the Toto.
Destiny. No, with us having Destiny here, that's probably not a huge need. What else do we have?
And like
Anything of
honestly, I
interest?
don't even like the Lancelittle just because I want to summon Mazeria, not Lancelittle.
Sure,
But
sure.
and the Huntsman's not a great summon. I mean, we could play Huntsman, but
It's kind of slow, I think, for what this wants to do.
yeah, I
We
agree.
kind of want to be able to actually get things moving.
I really want like Perseus, and I want I guess we already have the Mordecon. I want Mecha Man.
Sure, of course. Let's double up on the summons of the Destiny. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. Barring us like making a lot of changes.
Yeah. I could also like I guess I have a few mages here. I could play Prospero maybe.
Yeah, it's almost a little more interesting just if we're gonna play Mirror Mage, Prospero. Like we have Mirror Mage, we've got Weensea, we've got Rolo, we've got Crystal.
Then I think I actually cut the Lance then and play the Prospero. Because I want to keep these if I'm gonna like these together make each of the other ones less bad.
Yeah, it's also interesting that Destiny, like on turns 3 and 4, will force out the Mazeria, right?
Yeah, yeah. Alright, so
I think they're. I mean, it's interesting to try.
alright, yeah, let's play a Prospero. Okay, well, Quester, I guess. Okay, that's nice. I think since we got a silver already, I don't need the stats, so I'm gonna take Thorn, I think.
Yeah, most of those are defensible at this point.
Turn one Bubbles. Bubbles
This has been
has
amazing.
surprised me. I think it's pretty good.
It is better than I expected it would be. Um, it's obviously like it's something where I will probably play more of it once I unlock more captains around it, just because there's probably captains and setups that Bubbles will shine on. I just don't know what they are yet.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna just go right for Potion.
We are doing the thing.
Okay, guess I'll look for a villain, or a quester, or a destiny.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy choice there.
I don't want to do lion, I'll just take the treasure now.
Yeah, I agree.
Alright, I think we're gonna lose this fight.
Yeah, but we have taken time top.
Yeah.
I do love me taking time top.
Okay, half heart. Would have felt better if we had destiny, but a young Hercules? Or finish the quest now.
The quest is a captain, right? Because this is our second.
Yeah.
That's a tough choice. All right, we're on half hearts, so we're more likely to probably power up
With
and gain that heart back with the quest.
yeah, plus this is like a reasonable fighter actually, like taking down a support.
Yeah, it's. I think I have a lean towards Flying Monkey just on the off chance of power spiking this turn.
Okay.
If we were at a full heart, I might greed this a little bit just to try to force the boon engine going, but I think it's fine here.
Yeah, I like sensible plays. Well, this has got to be great, right?
I mean, these are all interesting here, right? So it's
But we've got
we'd be
this
buffing
little
Drake.
treasure up here. No, Mira, I don't think is interesting. Like, actually, like we don't have any payoffs in the whole deck, right?
I guess we are immediately getting a treasure from a quest, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
Draco, it's obviously.
We have like
That is,
9
that is what
questers
that
in our
icon
deck.
is. Interesting.
All right, why? Oh, this also has numbers on it, right? I forgot Dionysus like
Oh yeah,
buffs your
it does.
captains.
Yep.
All right, well we're
It
probably
buffs
gonna
all
lose
it
the
buffs
heart.
all the captains, which
Yeah.
is very important.
No. All right, show me animals, please. Okay, that's really good, and this is pretty good too. I think I just want the Davy Jones with the 6/6 here.
Yeah, that scales. That's gonna scale a lot. Probably buys us more time. Our animal friends.
Yeah, this is not a great one. All right, take a padded shield, and I think I even want the hunt, so I'm gonna put it in slot 1.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Just the doubling that ability this turn probably buys us more time than anything.
All right, and then now we have Hercules, so that'll be great. That means Monkey has to go, and let me find Baby Bear. Okay, Baby Bear is also great. And I'll just do the back line first, I think.
I think so. Yeah, because we want to probably play Achilles and Davy Jones in those slots if that's the setup this turn.
Ooh.
Oh. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, I'm taking that, right? Like.
Yeah. This early, turn 7, slot 1's already buffed. That'd be hard pressed not to.
Okay, I think I'm gonna cut the Achilles.
Yeah, I did.
Nice.
Papa Bear, yeah.
And then I can like maybe move Angelica to the back next turn.
Yeah, if we're behind, we can back row it after turn 2.
All right, we get the hunt.
It turned out to be a good Gilded Lily.
Yeah, Gilded Lily, I think is. I mean, a lot of the time, like I find if you actually just like are patient and wait, Gilded Lily is generally really good.
I agree entirely.
All right, Stinky. I guess I'll just bank this.
Yeah, I think so there. With the Stinky, we're not really interested in the trap, so I think it makes sense there.
Just try and do some full hard damage the next couple turns. Ooh, I like that. It's really weird, like having this like pseudo hull.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I take this though.
Yeah, I think we take that because that's gonna buff Angelica this turn.
Yeah.
And then if we still if that's still the plan we're on, eventually we can slide the Boon Willow over to buff the Stinky. So I think still buffing slot 5 with the animals makes sense with the Angelica.
Okay. Do you know, does the Over the Rainbow work after the Angelica or before? I know with Flopsy it's before, but I think Angelica might actually have a really good relationship with this.
I'm not sure off the top of my head. I think it works the way we want it to work.
Okay, I think so too.
But I've been wrong before.
Alright, don't snipe me. No!
How dare they? How rude.
Alright, take full heart. Doesn't make me feel better though. Alright, I guess we're gonna just lose our whole thing. It like does more damage than just denying our
Yep.
I mean, I think I just take this Nessie. I want to kiss target.
Yeah, it's that or Spell and Greed. and hold
Yeah,
the buff. But I think
that's
Nessie's
too much,
very
I think.
defensible here.
Guess there's no reason to search for pirate villains. I don't want to search for animals. And like we haven't seen a quester in ages.
We have not, and I don't think any of your legendary questers were the pirates, so.
Okay, Angelica. But at this point in the game, like even the 200 buff from Angelica doesn't really look like much.
No, but we weren't really behind on stats. I mean, we were ahead on stats versus the fighter, the Frowny that killed Angelica. So I think like
Yeah.
there's serious stats for the next couple turns.
I kind of want to take that Destiny. I'm trying. Like you can summon a few like
It
legendary guys, right?
Yeah, so the buff on the Boon Willow is what? I don't even think
46.
we're not even really giving up many stats here. Because that will trigger any of the questers in that spot. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Destiny's actually makes a lot of sense here.
Oh man, if I knew this was the last. Well, actually, this is still like pretty good. Mordecon. All right. Yeah, we did it. What a weird game. Like that was so fast with just having that 6/6. I mean, like what turn
Yeah,
was this? Like turn 3, right? Or no, turn 4.
yeah, and we didn't even have the animal buffers yet. First thing we had was just that double Davy Jones trigger because it hunted and died, and then ran the Gilded Lily into Angelica, and that just was just too much.
Yeah, I mean, like what on Galahad, like they say, like a turn 7, like hull is like pretty busted, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is just so much more than that. That was like
Turn
the only thing
five.
we did the whole game, really. Like that and Gilded Lily.
Yeah, it's the we fed it fed into Angelica, right?
Yeah,
And that kind of became the primary game plan. Once it hunted the first turn, if it didn't, we might need to shift the game plan. But I think it's just run that until we get to what I think the 5 or 6 legendaries that are in this list with questers, and
yeah,
that'll give us another game plan if we need to power spike afterwards.
yeah. I mean, we had a lot of stuff like in our pocket, like because I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, this Destiny, like summoning any of those guys is such a big game.
Destiny is a good card,
Yeah.
and it's only getting better from here as people unlock more cards to actually build the decks with.
Yeah, the fact that it like is the best thing to do on like turn 3, and then it's like as good as Mecha Man on turn 5, and then it's like as good as like a Golden Mockingbird or whatever, like in the late game. I don't know.
Yeah, it is a
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, it's just it is a high power card that like a lot of things in Mythbound is going to reward you for building your deck in a way that makes sense.
Yeah,
But like that's one of the mechanics in Mythbound, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
yeah. You know what? It is really weird though that like I feel like part of the like safety net for keeping some of this like broken stuff away from us is just making the collections like so hard to to complete. Um, I mean, like for example, I would love to have this card on Dorothy. It just
Oh yeah,
I've seen Dorothy once since Mythbound. I've played a lot of Mythbound already, and I mean, it's just hard to find anything in particular.
and that's partly why I focused on a lot of the newer captains because they have a bunch of new cards.
Yeah,
I get to play those decks and those cards. But it's the decks that have Destiny, like I really need to find Miseria on.
yeah.
The
And
decks that have
Missouri is really hard. You have
Miseria,
to get the first 50 card or 32
it's
or
rough.
something.
It's rough because it doesn't stick around for late game victory loot.
Well, no, I think they
Uh,
changed that though, right? Like, doesn't Victory Loot like give anything from the deck? I mean,
Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll keep
I've
in
had
mind.
some weird victory loots that I couldn't really explain, where I just like saw early game cards and like I was awarded those, and I'm pretty sure they weren't like on the opponent's final board.
That would be an interesting change.
That
That would
would,
be a welcome change.
yeah,
Just to actually help churn through some of those uncommons that are like really impactful, right? You want
Yeah.
to unlock Mythbound, you want to unlock Destiny, you want to unlock Miseria.
I mean, I
Um,
honestly think that like we're kind of getting to the point where I feel like before people were playing like no commons, maybe one, two uncommons, and now it's like I often have like one or two commons, like three to four uncommons. I mean, not in this deck, but
yeah, but like Almirage and Raven have been showing up
right.
all over the place. Not in every deck, but like Almirage has its place for it, and I think like when you want to play it, you really do. But the Raven is, and as long as boons are what they are currently, the Raven is going to see play.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, also another thing too is like I haven't seen the Raven yet with Butcher. I just don't have both of those cards on like any deck.
I
But
don't either.
I mean that's
That's
certainly got to just like automatically empty the your whole deck, right? If you have like a Gold Raven and a Butcher in play.
yeah, it's gonna make some of those setups even more consistent. Just narrowing the field of what units you can actually get will help with that pretty significantly. But that's also why it's kind of fun to play the game right now because there's a lot of new cards. I have random decks like Mercury where I'm having to play the Lion. I'm playing Crab Dragoon. I
Yeah.
don't know if those cards will see much play in my decks a month from now, but I'm
Yeah.
playing all over the place now, and that's fun. It's nice to play with the new cards and see what they do and test new things out. And sometimes you're tweaking one card here or there in existing decks, but getting to play a bunch of new stuff is what makes this time interesting.
Crab Dragoon like really reminds me of like well, it's like Oracle, but these are all just kind of like these like fun like in Magic the Gathering, right? Where you have like all these
Hmm.
rares, and when you first start playing, you're like, oh, this is a cool card, and then after you've been playing for 5 years and you see like all these cards, and they're just like, moderate value rare card, and just kind of like goes in the pile, and you never think about it again. It's like such a small window where you actually get to play with cards like that, or in
Exactly.
this case,
Yeah.
Crab Dragoon. Like once you have a collection, it's probably gonna get cut. It just doesn't really
It's
do enough.
it's probably not going to do enough. Like legendary slots are tough because a lot of the cards are very good. It
Yeah.
probably doesn't do enough with existing synergies, but it is fun and getting to just play it and jam it right now is just kind of fun.
Yeah.
And I totally agree. Like it's nice to get to play these cards that I'm probably not going to play a ton of later, but maybe another card gets released next month or a new captain where this makes a lot of sense, and it's good to have some reps on those cards just so you actually you don't they're not invisible when you're going through your deck building.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Um, I don't know. Like, there's so many cards that like you also have like a blindness to. Like, you don't even see them in the shop. You just like trained yourself like subconsciously to like never
Yep,
consider it.
exactly.
Yeah.
And Nemesis is a good card, is a good captain for that. Where like, yeah, I might ignore this card at some point, halfway through the shop. I'm not really taking Thorn, or halfway through a lobby, I'm not taking Thorn or that often. But on Nemesis, like that's a lot of stats.
Yeah.
That can add up like much further into the game than I would have thought before. So it is good to have reps on all the cards.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, I think that'll be the end of this one. Thank you all for watching, and thanks again, Fireoak, for coming on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Goodbye.